What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Back to Me podcast with Aidan O'Brien. It's been long overdue, I know. We're way behind, lots going on with the marathon and business. Busier than ever at the moment. A lot of clients one-to-one. Very busy, a lot of events, a lot of trainings, a lot of other projects I'm part of as well. And just life in general. Life gets busy sometimes. So I like to call it like it was a season break, like all the top TV shows, they all have these mid-season breaks. Remember Suits used to do that, and a few others. So this was just a mid-season break. It's no big deal. This is what the top productions in the world do, and the Back to Me podcast is obviously a top production. So it was just a little mid-season interval here to refresh, give you a break, allow you to catch up on the previous episodes. There's been lots of lives, lots of reels on Instagram, lots of other stuff you can check out. And again, a lot of you guys obviously are clients in my group coaching or my one-to-one or at my events. So you're getting plenty of me in the meantime. And if you're not in those, you should be, obviously, because what are you doing trying to go by yourself? Keep making the same mistakes, hitting the same walls, repeating the same cycles, falling into the same traps, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions. It's time to get some guidance, get some clarity, get some strategy, get some accountability. So as always, in the description, you can get my information, my website, my Instagram. You can reach out, have a conversation. So there's a couple episodes coming. We have, I'm doing the marathon episode, also the dating and relationships. There's a couple of guests lined up as well. So after that mid-season break, there's plenty coming now in the coming weeks and months, which I hope you will enjoy. I have no doubt you will. Today's episode, I want to talk about easy and hard. I want to talk about good and bad. I want to talk about language. Really a lot lately, I've been seeing so many people, clients, talking about, it's just hard, or it's just difficult for me. This is hard for me. This is a challenge for me. And I'm saying it over and over again to every client. There is no easy or hard. I talked about this before. I'm sure I've mentioned it in other episodes. I talk about it a lot in my talks, my workshops, my masterclasses. So you've probably seen some reels where I talk about that. There is no easy or hard. I wanted to do a full episode on it. It'll probably be a short episode, to be honest. But as you know, I can talk, so maybe it won't be that short. But we'll play it by ear. There is no good or bad, guys. Like literally, there is no good or bad. Everything is as is. So many of you are literally exhausted from constantly feeling like you're going uphill all the time. You feel like you're swimming against a current all the time. And maybe in parts of your life you are. But for sure, you're feeling a lot worse. It feels a lot more cumbersome. It feels a lot more challenging. The road feels a lot bumpier for you. And it feels a lot less light in your life when you constantly speak it, that things are hard, things are difficult, things are challenging. You're building walls for yourself. So many of you are building walls. You're trapped. You're building a box of fear. You're building a box of doubt. You're building a box of insecurity. And you're staying in that box. You're locked in that box. And it's your words that are building it. It starts with your thoughts, and then it becomes your words. Every time you say, this is good or this is bad, you're limiting yourself. You're wasting energy. You're literally leaking energy every time you say, this is bad, and this is hard, and this is a challenge. You cannot be casual with your language. I often talk about certain words. The need one is a big one. All my clients write down the word need, and then they put a huge X through it. And I have some people in my programs, and they say it a lot. I've been working with them for months, and they're still programmed to say need. Like, I need to do this. I need to get up early. I need to stop saying that. I need to stop saying need, they say to me. So need is a big one to cut out. I always talk about being casual with your language. You cannot be casual with your language. Casualness leads to casualties. What's the casualty? The death of your vision, the death of your energy, the death of your spirit, the death of your life force, the death of your vision. Like, so many people don't even have a vision because they're speaking these walls, these roadblocks in front of them. So I want to bring your awareness to that today, to let go of some of these words, these walls you're building with your words. And if we look from the highest level of awareness, and that's what Back to Me is about, right? It's that awakening I had last year where I realized we don't have to learn more and be more and do more. We have to let go. We have to let go of everything that we are not. That's our biggest challenge, because we are enough. We are full already. You are enough. You are enough. Like, you have everything you need inside of you. You just don't know. You've just forgotten who you are. You've forgotten what you have. And now you're chasing things outside of you that you think will give you the feeling that you're looking for. And they never do. And you keep looking for them. You look for it in other people. You look for it in a job. You look for it in money. You look for it in a car, a house, a trip. You look for it in food. You look for it in alcohol. Maybe you're looking for it in sex. You're looking for it in all these things outside of yourself that aren't from love. They're not from love. They're not joy. They're not fulfillment. There may be pleasure. There may be temporary, infatuation. There might be temporary enjoyment potentially, or an illusion of enjoyment, but you will often end up worse after it. With food, with drink, with sex, with the wrong people. You never feel good after it. You feel worse after it, always. Drugs, shopping, all of these, scrolling, social media, Netflix, all of these temporary pleasures that we think. And it's all because we have so much pain in ourselves, we have so much discomfort, we have so much illusion, so much chaos in our mind, in our hearts, so much emotion buried in our bodies, pushed down for decades, that we're seeking these quick fixes to give us this joy or this illusion of joy. But if it's not from love, it's illusion. If it's not from love, it's causing you pain. If it's not from love, it's going to hurt you. Okay? So our mission in life is to live fully. The only way to live fully is to live freely. Freely in our minds and freely in our hearts. Nothing external is ever going to give us that freedom. Nothing external is ever, ever, ever going to fulfill us and give us the feeling of love and joy and acceptance and fulfillment like what we have inside. We have just forgotten that we have everything, that we are enough. And we're in this constant state of chase, of hunting all the time, things we think we want. Okay, so we have to start to let go of all of this expectation that the outside things are going to give us what we actually have already inside. Because when you truly connect to what's inside, you start to know yourself and you start to love yourself. You have love in your life. There's no other feeling like that. And if you do find the right person, you share that with someone, that's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's the most powerful thing in the world. And when you have that feeling of love, all perception of need from the outside world, external world, goes down. When you find that true love in yourself, and if you find it in another person, which is absolutely there for everybody, you don't need anything, actually. You don't even need food, you don't need sleep, you don't need anything. You have such a high vibration, such energy, that you don't need anything. And when you truly know yourself and love yourself, it's the same way. You find strength and energy in silence. In silence. You find it in nature. You find it in walking, stretching, breathing. You have true gratitude in your heart where you're just truly grateful to be alive and to be living. Like, a lot of people are grateful to be alive. They're not grateful to be living because they're not living. They're just alive. There's a huge difference. So the first thing you have to do is to acknowledge that I am enough. I have everything. I don't need anything. So you have to cut out this word of I need. You don't need anything. You are enough. The only thing you need to do is to let go of all the things you think you need. That's what you have to let go of. You have to let go of your attachment, your expectation, okay, your fear. And fear will be there, but it cannot be there when love is there. Just like there can't be darkness. When there's light in a room, there's no darkness. When you put a light on, there's no room for darkness. So when you have love, there's no room for fear. Okay? So light removes dark instantly. Love removes fears. You have to choose love. You have to start to look in yourself and start to know yourself and start to love yourself. When you do that, you don't need anymore. So that's why you can stop saying I need. You don't need. And as long as you think you need, you'll always suffer. Nothing will ever be enough. And no matter where you go, there you'll be. No matter what you have, it won't be enough. And you'll always be waiting for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You'll always be future focused. You'll never be now focused. Okay? So get rid of the word need, because you don't need anything. You are enough. You have enough. And like I said a few minutes ago, there's nothing external that's going to give you what you have inside. And I work with so many clients, and it's such a joy. It's such a joy seeing them free themselves of the shackles of their mind, free themselves of the expectation, free themselves of the control. And they're lighter, like they're lighter people. All they have is more awareness. They're better at observing. They're less attached. They have less expectation, and the suffering is just going down and down and down and down and down. And it's the real work. That's why I said I realized I'm teaching people for years how to think, how to speak, how to build your life. It's great. But nothing comes close to letting go of everything you're not. And that's why we're here to do it. Back to Me coaching and mentoring, Back to Me podcast, and the Back to Me book. It's all about letting go of everything you're not. So coming back to the words, not being casual with your language. The reason I mention need is because need's a big one. Just like sorry and hopefully and try and can't and impossible and all those bullshit words you tell yourself. You need to let go of all of them. But the ones today's episode about is the easy and hard. Oh, that's easy. This is really hard for me. This is hard for me. This is really bad. This is bad. Good and bad. Positive and negative. There is no positive or negative. It just is. Everything is. Some of you guys are like, what is he talking about? What do you mean it is? No, it's positive, it's negative. No, there is no positive or negative. That's just the meaning you're given things. That's just your perception, your interpretation of the world, of how you see things. I'm always talking about on this podcast, awakening. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to awaken. Again, there's no trying. You either do or you don't. But we're in the process of awakening, okay? And we're never fully awake until we die, I believe. Like, our mission is just to awaken as much as possible every day, every week, every month, till we're truly free. But as long as you have a perception of expectation that you're seeing things through your story, through your wants, your desires, your control, you're never fully awake. It's always painted over with it's all foggy with your perception. You're not seeing things how they are. You're seeing things how you want them to be. When you say something is easy or hard, it's not how it is. There is no easy or hard. It's just conditioned or unconditioned. Okay, so there's no positive or negative. It just goes your way or it doesn't go your way. There's no good or bad. It just suits you or it doesn't suit you. It's your preference or it's not your preference. And it's costing you so much energy every day to say this is good and this is bad, and this is positive and this is negative, and this is easy and this is hard. There is no easy or hard, guys. Nothing is easy or hard. It's just you've conditioned yourself that it feels easy, or you haven't conditioned yourself at all and it feels hard. So certain things, ways of thinking and feeling, new emotions, new behaviors feel hard because they're not conditioned. Certain things feel easy to you. You do them in your sleep. It's automatic. It's a reflex because you've been doing it for years. Cheers. Salute, slanta, all of the above. Nostrovia. I can't even remember more. And it's tea. So what am I doing? Positive or negative? There is no positive or negative. Let go of that because it's costing you energy, because you're saying, oh, I need to think more positive. I should be thinking positive. There is no thinking positive. There's creating space. There's observation. There's observing and being a witness of what is, or there's being locked in a cycle of thought, in a traffic jam of thinking, and then all you're doing is thinking about your thoughts. And you're thinking about how things should be. And you're thinking about how it's not going your way or it is going your way. It's time today to make a decision to let go of how you think things should be. To let go of this belief of positive and negative. To let go of what's good and bad. It's just your desire for control. Control is very addictive. Some say it's the most addictive drug in the world, control. And that's all it is. It's just your perception. The things you do most often, you feel easy to you. Some you get up early every day. It's easy. But it's not easy. It just is. But it's conditioned for you so it feels easy. Some people cannot get up early and you say it's hard. It's not hard. You're just not conditioned to get up early. You're not conditioned to save money. You're not conditioned to communicate in your relationship. You're not conditioned to love yourself. You're not conditioned to... You are conditioned to judge yourself. You are conditioned to be hard on yourself. You are conditioned to beat yourself up. You are conditioned to criticize. You are conditioned to judge yourself and others. You are conditioned to blame your parents. You are conditioned to blame your friends. You are conditioned to blame your boss. You are conditioned to blame your country, the weather, fucking whatever else. You're just conditioned for some things and you're not conditioned for other things. What you think is bad doesn't fit your preference, doesn't fit your ideology, doesn't fit your beliefs. What you think is positive, something that the world and society has told you is positive. There is no positive or negative. Everything just is. It just is. Everything just is. It's your meaning that's causing your suffering. There is no misery without your mind. All your suffering comes from your mind. All of it. All of your suffering comes because you don't love yourself. Because if you truly love yourself, you need nothing. You are full. All you need is water, food, sleep, and oxygen. shelter is nice. You don't need anything. It's illusion. This world you're looking at today, it exists, but it's all illusion. The whole world wants you in need mode, spend mode, distraction mode. It does not want you knowing and in love with yourself, because you're in full health, full vitality, full energy, full love, full fitness, full strength. You need nothing. You have great relationships. You have a small circle that you love. You have a good relationship with your family. You have no guilt with your family. You have no energetic cords to your parents or to your brothers or to your sisters. You don't give a shit about the bullshit you used to worry about, because everything is as is. Life happens when you're alive. Let go of your desire for control. Your suffering is because you're trying to control everything of how you think things should be. As soon as you begin to surrender to what is, to life, miracles happen. How many times you heard me talking about receive unexpectedly? I continue to prove myself right in this life. I continue. If I had belief weeks ago, months ago, my belief is stronger than ever. Even in the last podcast, I'm stronger than ever. I continually prove myself right with receiving unexpectedly with myself, my own life, and my clients. When you surrender, you set the intention, you clear, you do some healing like we're always talking about. You have to heal. The healing is in the feeling. Most people don't want to feel. That's why they're suffering so much. They want to spend, consume, eat, drink, all of the things. They don't want to face themselves. They want to be constantly scrolling Instagram. They want loads of followers. They want to follow loads of people. They want to watch all the videos. They want to listen to the podcast. Some of you fucking illusionists who think I listen to the podcast and I read all the books. I'm a personal development junkie. It's all distraction. You suffer just as much as everybody else because you think I'm reading books and I'm doing podcasts. That's it. It's distraction. You're a positive type of distractor. Oh, I do yoga and I'm a vegetarian and I read and I listen to podcasts. So what? Are you truly fulfilled? Do you love yourself? Do you know yourself? Do you have loving relationships? That's just another form of distraction. Just because you're listening to all these podcasts, reading these books and you do yoga, you're still in distraction unless you're truly present and you know yourself and you love yourself. And you have a small circle of real people around you who know you and love you. And yet you still don't let them, even though you love them and they love you, you don't let them affect your decisions. Because they don't have to live with the consequences. They shouldn't have a say in the decisions. For sure, you can collect ideas and concepts and philosophies and ideas from your friends, opinions from your friends, I should say, but they should not affect your decision. Okay, they can be used to improve your awareness, to expand your thinking, to think outside the box. But you have to trust yourself with the decision. You have to trust yourself with everything. Because you have to live with the consequences. But so many of you are suffering and you're still, because you're in distraction, because you don't know yourself, because you don't love yourself. And then you continue every day to build walls and say, well, it's just hard for me. No, it's not hard for you. See, the bravest people I know are people like my clients and other coaches' clients and mentors' clients and people who walk the path back to themselves. The people who they face themselves, they walk through their own shadow, they look for their darkness, they look for their insecurities, like we all do. And we have to face them. We all have insecurities, but not everyone faces them. And you're looking outside yourself. You think your marriage is a problem. It's because you're asleep, both of you. That's why your marriage is in trouble. You think your health you're suffering. No, it's because you're asleep around your health. You're asleep around your job. You're not in alignment. You've been chasing money and now you're out of alignment. Now you're in a job you don't like. You're in a relationship you don't like. Or it's not serving you. Or you're suffering. And maybe communication will fix it. Maybe honest communication with yourself would help you with your health. Maybe that would help you with your finances. The problem is people are chasing external things instead of realizing that everything they're looking for is in themselves. And then all the language, the consistent language on a daily basis and the whole world's language, think positive. And then you don't, because if you don't believe it's positive, then you feel guilty because you think you're thinking negative. And then it didn't go good, it went bad. Didn't go well, it went bad. Now you're feeling more negative. And now it's harder because everything that's bad and it's negative. And you're wondering why you've no energy. And you're wondering why you're not motivated. And you're wondering why you're not moving your ass every day. And why you're not in a loving relationship. Because everything is bad and hard and negative. And you think you should be I'm trying to think positive. There's no thinking positive. Everything is as it is. You have to become an observer. Like I say all the time, you cannot stop the waves. But you are the ocean. You don't need to stop the waves. If you're the ocean, why are you trying to stop the waves? You are the ocean. You are the entire ocean. You are made of the same stuff. You are the mountains. You are the breeze. You are this earth. You are all of it. The thoughts come. You are just an antenna receiving them. But as soon as you start to observe and become a witness, the thoughts slow down. The waves slow down. As soon as you try and stop the thoughts and think about your thoughts, you've nothing else to think about except your thoughts. Now you're just in this constant whirlpool. You're in the washing machine, spun around constantly of thoughts. And then you speak all these thoughts, and then that's why you're complaining all the time. That's why people don't want to be around you, because you're talking so much shit, excuse my language, about yourself and about everything, because everything is hard and everything is positive or negative and everything is good or bad, and it's a waste of energy. You're wasting your energy. Everything is as is. Set yourself free of the expectation of how things should be. Everything is as is. Allow it. Accept it. Then clear what you have to clear inside yourself. Heal what has to be healed inside yourself. Become the observer. Notice things. Get clarity on who you are and what you want and where you're going. Set the intention of who you are, what you want, and where you're going. Understand that if it's in your heart, it's already yours. Now you start to create. Now you realize you are a creator, a co-creator of this reality. There is God in you. The God who created the universe is the God in you who created you. You are a co-creator. When you let go of this desire to be right, to be positive, to have things easy, things to be good, you start to allow things to be what they are. You start to surrender. You get clear on who you are. You start to heal. And now you can start to receive. You will be guided. You won't think of your future. You'll think from it. And it's not really your future, it's the awake you. Once you start feeling that vision of that awake life, that living freely with a mental and emotional freedom, you start to get guided. You start to take inspired action. So I hope you're getting the point. And if you're with me on this, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a DM on Instagram, of course. Send me an email. The email's there as well. Please leave a rating if this is making sense, if this is adding value. It makes a huge difference. Share this podcast with people. Everybody has to hear this. Not everyone wants to hear it. Everybody should hear it. Because it's exhausting constantly fighting the good and bad and hard and easy and positive and negative. Just accept things are the way they are. Get clear on who you are. And as you start to take new action, you will start to see the world in a different place. A lot of the illusion starts to fade away. And like I said, when you find that love in yourself, and if you find it with someone special, you need way less. You don't need you don't eat as much, you don't sleep as much. I mean, it's never a bad thing to sleep, obviously. You should always sleep to get your recovery. But you don't need it like you think you need it. You don't need much food as you think you need. You don't need as much anything. When you start to love yourself, you don't need to scroll. You don't need to see every show. You don't need to follow every page. You don't need to watch everything and comment on everything and like everything. You start to keep your energy more protected. You start to go into nature more, to walk more, to hike more, to breathe more, to stretch more, to love more, to live more. So many people aren't living today. They're caught up in this illusion. And I know a lot of these people, high-level people, they're my clients and they're suffering. A lot of people are suffering today because of expectation, attachment, the story you're putting on everything, the meaning you're giving things. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So many of you need to hear that. You absolutely have to hear it. You got to listen to this a couple of times. And you have to become aware and notice your language and catch yourself saying, I need. Catch yourself saying things are hard, or think positive. There is no positive or negative. I keep saying it. Everything is. Life happens when you're alive. The key to freedom is becoming non-reactive. It's becoming resilient through finding freedom. And freedom is found by being non-reactive. Choosing your responses. That means being the observer, zooming out, being the witness, being super aware. It's what I do with every client. We create awareness first. Awareness has changed the game for so many of my clients. They are living a whole new life. Like Aladdin, it's a whole new world. I want to watch Aladdin. Actually, I haven't watched that in a long time. But it is a whole new world when you're aware. Jasmine from Aladdin, Pocahontas. Some of you guys know me. They know I've been talking about Jasmine from Aladdin and Pocahontas for many years. And let me just say again, I've been proven right again. I'm always right. I was wrong once before, and in the end I was still proven right. Everything comes, guys. When the vision is in your heart, it's already yours. It's only when it's in your mind you don't get it, because it's all ego and mental and I want and I want. What's in your heart is destined for you if you can allow yourself to receive it, to move the things that are blocking your pathway to receiving what's already yours. And one of the first things you can do is to clear some of the language, the roadblocks you're building with your words. Okay, so I told you this would be a short episode, punchy. I don't think there's much more to say in it. I could talk in circles about it and repeat myself, but I've repeated myself enough. It's time for you guys. And I was saying, let me know if you're going to do this. Let me know if you're going to implement this. Let me know if you've been doing it maybe a week or two after you've heard the episode and you're using it and you feel a difference. Let me know. Put it in writing so we can spread the word to people that this works. I know it works. It worked for me for years. It's working for my clients for years. And it's a priority. It's a priority for you. Your language is a priority. Your feeling is a priority. Your energy is a priority. Don't waste energy complaining and speaking walls in front of yourself. Building a box out of fear, out of insecurity, out of doubt, out of control. Have some fun. Let go of control. Just have some fun. You're supposed to be childlike, not childish. Childlike is dancing, playing, singing, feeling free. Surrender to life. There's a bigger plan here. You trust so much already. You trust your heart beating every day. You trust your breath without you thinking. You trust your glands to secrete. You trust your digestive system. You trust the sun to come up. You trust the tide to go out. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. Trust God, because that God that created this universe created you and is you. The best part of you back to me is like back to God, the God in you, not the humanness, the fear, the doubt, the insecurity. It's the God in you. It's the truth in you. And we have that. You know it. You hear whispers, but you have moments of clarity. You have moments in this life where you feel that higher power, where you feel blessed, where you feel a synchronicity, where you feel you have serendipitous moments. You have situations, events, people that come into your life when you least expect it. You have beautiful gifts, beautiful friendships, relationships, health, opportunities in business, in your career. There's so much miracles that happen in your life all the time. And if you're constantly seeking other things, you're missing the miracles that are right in front of you. So have some fun with this. Surrender. Let go of control. When you find your lane, guys, when you get in alignment, you have so much power. You have so much power with so little effort. That's your true power. Some of you don't even realize how powerful you are. You're so disconnected from it. You're disconnected from your power because you're plugged into other things that you think will give you power, but they actually take your power. You're plugging into other people's opinions. You're plugging into other people's lifestyles. You're plugging into other people's stories. You're plugging into your bullshit story. You're plugging into the thoughts you have. It's time to disconnect from that and reconnect with the real you. It's time to get back to me. That's today's episode. If you enjoyed it, let me know. I love hearing from you guys. Please, again, leave a rating, subscribe to the channel, share this with people you think, if it's on Spotify or Apple or YouTube, wherever you're watching, share it with a friend. It'll do them a lot of good. I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.